Yo, welcome to another episode of Black Man's Thoughts. I'm out here driving and I was just thinking, is there going to be an NFL season? With all this COVID going on, is there going to be sports? Is there going to be basketball? Is there going to be baseball? And I don't really think so. I'm watching my Ravens. I'm getting a lot of, they ain't showing love to my man Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? He came in, I think, number 6 or number 9 on the rankings of the quarterbacks, and he won the what's it called? The MVP. How do you do that? How do you come in so low? You know what I mean? Is it because the style of play we do? Is it because it's a heavy run offense? Is it because they view him more as a runner, not a complete package? I don't know. How do you measure success as a quarterback in any team and not include the amount of success that your team has? You know what I mean? There's not one quarterback in here and it's just all him. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that there's still some animosity to how he is not the typical profile quarterback. I'm talking about Lamar Jackson, and he's getting it done. He's getting it done looking different. Hanging out with Kodak Black, having his own style and having a relationship with the quarterback, and teammates loving. And how does owners and how does old 20, 30-year-old quarterback coaches and offensive coordinators come to that in their mind when they've probably told so many other black quarterbacks and running quarterbacks that switch the receiver. This isn't your style. This not going to work. How do you sit there and vote for him and say that, I like him, when you probably didn't tarnish the dreams of many other quarterbacks who had the same style and didn't give them a chance because they didn't fit that typical 6'5", 220 plus pound white quarterback? It's not a black and white thing, but that this new crop of quarterbacks in the last few years have not been what we saw as quarterbacks before. So I just think that the hate that comes from Lamar Jackson is probably because, the realization is that so many quarterbacks were probably told no. And the reality is now coaches know that style could have worked. It could have worked if you believed in and surrounded your quarterbacks with great linemen. I think for black quarterbacks, they typically just say, go off your athleticism and don't surround them with any offensive lineman. Look at Cam Newton. He's never really had a great line. He's never had receivers. Look at Russell Westbrook. He has a good line, but he really hasn't had great receivers. You know what I mean? Look at what's happening in the Texans. Win it for us, run it, but we have to take away the best receiver, maybe in the NFL, from you. You know what I mean? I think that there is animosity towards that style because that wasn't the style that was supposed to fit the NFL. You know what I mean? So will there be an NFL season? I don't know. I don't believe so. I think that, with the cases getting worse, we may not see it. Now, what does that mean for players like Mark Ingram, who's been training, who's hitting 30 and they got 1 year? You know what I mean? I think that's a whole nother video. But again, I just wanted to drop some knowledge and come up and say, I don't think there's going to be an NFL season. I hope there is. But, if there is, Raven Nation, baby.